And welcome back, my fellow Ravens. Today we shall be tackling the topic of armored core parts, specifically the legs. Now, these affect how you traverse the world of armored core, and there might be some biases here and there in today's basics episode, so take some of what I say with a grain of salt. Now, before we actually start today's basics episode, if you guys want more basics videos or just like my videos in general, please click the like and the sub button. They help the channel out a lot. Anyway, let's get started with today's basics episode, shall we? Armored core legs come in many shapes and sizes. They have their own pros and cons, and I hope I can help you find the leg type that suits your own playstyle in this video. Now, this video is gonna be divided into segments, so I'm gonna have the timestamp for each leg type in the description and pinned comment. We'll go through them in the order they appear in the part select menu. And I'm using the PSP ports of Gen 3 as these have access to all leg variants. And because my PS2 ports have no save files on them. Whoops. These are by far the most balanced type of legs. Basically everyone and their mother uses these. Now I'll go over the different weight categories of this type for a more specific breakdown as each have their own pros and cons. These are by far the most versatile of the normal joint trio, boasting a good balance of AP, defense, and mobility. This will most likely be what a Raven will use for majority of his playthrough, or just for multi-purpose armored core builds. These are for people who like the versatility of the normal joint biped legs, but they want to go fast. These legs aren't as tanky as their midweight and heavyweight siblings, but they boast the fastest movement speed in all the normal joint trio. So you want to be tanky as all hell but not sacrifice your armored core's mobility. Also, these are commonly used by people who pack some high explosive ordnance as high damaging weapons are heavy. Either that or you're just running a Karasawa build with OPI and Human Plus, which I have to say is still fun, but come on. Anyway, these big boys pack the highest physical defense and AP on all three normal joint bipedal types. These are for people who want to fight in the sky and want to conserve energy, making these legs the best for aerial fights. Either that or you're balancing for a Karasawa build that isn't equipped with OB Intensifier or Human Plus. And what we see here is my pathetic attempt at aerial dogfighting. I don't like fighting in the air as I prefer fighting on the ground. So moving on. Oh, and I kinda took this tip from Buster TBM. Apparently in Last Raven you can actually make an infinite flight reverse leg joint unit. That's kinda funny though. These bad boys are the most mobile of all leg types. I'll get to you in a bit. These boast the highest turning speed, and this leg has a special trait. As you can see in both bipedal leg types, you have to kneel when using the back-mounted weapons that aren't missiles or rockets. But here you don't need to kneel, so basically you are keeping your mobility high while still packing some high power weaponry. But the downside is this leg type has the largest energy consumption of all leg types. These are for those who don't care about mobility. Just find a good spot and just blast away, boasting the highest defense and AP stats. These are for those, F it, I'm ending this boss no matter what it takes moments. With practically no limit to what kind of equipment you can attach to these things. And just max out your firepower potential with this leg type. Now this has the same gimmick as squad legs that you can use the back-mounted weapons without kneeling. But this one has the lowest mobility of all leg types, meaning a highly mobile target is a hard counter for you should you encounter one. Now for this leg type we have two versions, Pre-Nexus and NLR versions. First we have the Pre-Nexus. These are extremely lightweight legs. They aren't capable of wielding heavy as all hell weapons, and they are the most fragile of all leg types. I've seen these commonly used as situational legs, like on water missions, so the player can just focus on gunning down enemies or protecting the objective so that they don't, sink to the bottom of the water. Anyhow, now with a skilled Raven, these things are annoying to deal with, but just don't get too hot or it might be the quickest lights out for you. Next is the NLR version. I just feel bad for these things. In Nexus and Last Raven, hoverlegs were neutered to the ground due to the boost heat and heat mechanics, as an enemy equipped with a machine gun can just shred you to pieces in a matter of seconds. And the parts breaking mechanic did not help one bit, as any AC equipping hoverlegs can get crippled within seconds. Now with the right amount of skills, both versions can be viable, but the cons outweigh the pros, so I don't really recommend this for new players. And that's the basics of the leg types in our car. Now I'll briefly touch up upon which legs appear on which games. So in Generation 1, we have all leg types except hover legs. Generation 2 is the generation wherein the hover legs debuted. Generation 3 includes all leg types. Generation 4 is the first removal of the hover legs. And then Generation 5, everything minus the hover legs. And as for Gen 6, all we have so far is the normal biped and the quad legs. Some people in the fandom actually are praying for the return of hover legs. But who knows what the future will bring. Anyhow, which leg type do you want to master? Leave it down in the comments. And you have somehow learned something from my basic series, please do consider subscribing, as that helps the channel out a lot and pushes the content to more traffic. Anyhow, this has been Russian Games, and I'll see you lovely sons of guns next time. Rush out.
Mission objective achieved. System switch to normal mode.